In a move that has sent shockwaves across the Middle East, Israel has announced the death of Abu Obeida, the masked spokesman for Hamas's armed wing, in a targeted airstrike in Gaza City. Here's where it gets controversial. While Israel hails this as a strategic victory, critics argue it could escalate tensions further in an already volatile region. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, took to social media to commend the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, and Shin Bet for their flawless execution, though he provided no specifics about the operation's timing or location. This lack of detail has left many questioning the broader implications of such actions. The IDF had earlier disclosed that their aircraft targeted a key terrorist in the Al-Ramal neighborhood on Saturday, with Israeli media quickly speculating that Obeida was the intended target. However, Hamas has yet to confirm his death, instead highlighting the civilian casualties caused by the strikes, which reportedly hit a residential building. And this is the part most people miss. The human cost of these operations often gets overshadowed by the political and military narratives. Katz didn't mince words, warning that more of Obeida's criminal partners would face similar fates as Israel intensifies its campaign in Gaza. This follows a recently approved plan to seize control of Gaza City, a move that has drawn sharp criticism from the international community. The UN and even the UK's ambassador to Israel have warned of catastrophic consequences for Palestinian civilians and Israeli hostages held in Gaza. In a joint statement, the IDF and Shin Bet revealed that the operation was made possible by intelligence gathered by Shin Bet and the IDF's Intelligence Directorate, which pinpointed Obeida's hiding place. Obeida, believed to be around 40 years old, was one of the few remaining senior members of Hamas's military wing from before the deadly October 7th, 2023 attack on southern Israel. His public persona, always masked in a Palestinian scarf, had made him an iconic figure among Hamas supporters across the Middle East. The airstrike itself was precise, yet devastating. 5 missiles struck the second and third floors of a 6-story apartment building in Al-Ramal, simultaneously from 2 different directions. The targeted flat had been used as a dentist's surgery, and witnesses reported seeing large sums of money scattered in the air after the strikes, some of which was stolen by locals, but later recovered by Hamas. Here's a thought-provoking question. Does the destruction of such infrastructure and the loss of civilian lives justify the elimination of a single target, no matter how significant? In what may have been his final speech on Friday, Obeida warned Israel against its planned invasion of Gaza City, stating that the fate of remaining Israeli hostages would mirror that of Hamas fighters. Local journalists reported at least 7 deaths and 20 injuries in the Al-Ramal strikes, with children among the casualties. Mohammed Imad, a barber working just 100 meters from the site, described the scene to the BBC. The blasts were terrifying. I couldn't move for more than an hour. I saw injured children with blood covering their faces, and people were running in every direction as if the world had ended. Footage verified by the BBC shows the aftermath of the strikes, with terrified residents fleeing into the streets. Blood flows from a body covered by fabric, while an injured child is carried away by a man. The IDF claims it took many steps to reduce the chance of harming civilians, including the use of precision weapons and aerial observations. However, BBC News has been unable to independently verify these claims or those made by Hamas. Israel's broader strategy was set in motion in early August when its Security Cabinet approved a plan to seize Gaza City, aiming to end the 22-month-long war. Yet this plan has been met with widespread condemnation. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu remains steadfast, vowing to defeat Hamas despite international criticism of his plans to expand the conflict. The conflict began in response to the Hamas-led October 7 attack, which killed approximately 1,200 people and saw 251 taken hostage. Since then, over 63,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. While the full-scale operation to capture Gaza City has yet to begin, Israeli attacks on the city, home to nearly 1 million people, continue unabated. One resident told the BBC that the same apartment building struck on Saturday had already been hit in an earlier Israeli air raid months ago. The Israeli military plans to evacuate Gaza City's entire population to shelters in the south before troops move in, though most of Gaza's population has already been displaced multiple times during the conflict. The city's infrastructure is in ruins, with over 90% of homes damaged or destroyed, and essential services like healthcare, water, sanitation, and hygiene systems have collapsed. Last week, famine conditions were confirmed in Gaza City and its surrounding areas for the first time, marking a grim new chapter in the crisis. Here's a question to ponder. As the international community watches this unfolding tragedy, what responsibility do we bear in preventing further escalation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this critical conversation going.